Which of the following is recommended way to define definition of done? Let's look at the options. The project manager creates it based on historical data, maybe lesson learned or something. Product owner makes it based on the project need. Option B. The project team develops it. In consultation with the stakeholder, the project team develops it. So B and C are more or less overlapping, but yeah, that's the slight difference between C and D. You can pause, pick your option. Okay, so I believe this is an easy question in a relatively. Once you understand the concept of definition of done, you know what is the purpose of it, and in order to achieve that purpose, who should be defining it? Yeah. So in general, we don't recommend project manager defining something which is kind of defining the work of the team. So it has to be done by someone else than project manager. Project manager can facilitate the discovery of definition of done, but he or she should not define the definition of done. Now, the question gave a little clue about historical data, which makes it little tempting that, yeah, you might check the definition of done of the previous project and you tell that, okay, guys, let's start with this. But each project might have a unique understanding, unique requirement. The previous definition of done might be useful, but project manager cannot just define it on his own. Product owner makes it based on the project need. Now, this seems to be the another candidate option, or I would say trap options. So there is a clear understanding that definition of done is something which is a team's job, a collaborative job, rather than a product owner's job or someone who is representing the requirements job. Someone who represents the business or the requirement can tell about a user story or can tell about the requirement and definitely works significantly more than other team members to discover the acceptance criteria for that user story or a requirement. But the definition of done is more at a deliverable level, which is common for multiple product backlog item. And we can understand the first line in definition of done might say meet the acceptance criteria, which are defined by the business. And then it may have other things as we go along. So product owner cannot define it alone because the definition of done includes some internal quality points, quality checks as well. Yeah, so that particular knowledge, that particular insight, the product owner alone may not have. Now, as I said, C and D are a little bit overlapped. Now, C tells that project teams develops it, yes, but it has to be developed in consultation with the stakeholders. So stakeholder could be a product owner or the other business stakeholders, because once created, the definition of done helps us in defining or kind of creating an agreement that when we finish a particular product backlog item, these are the items which gets done. Yeah. Sometimes the definition of done may include, say, a customer release, that each items only can be marked completed when it relates to the customer. But sometimes when you are in the initial stage of your product development, the customer release step might not be there. So it is something, it has multiple areas, and since it takes care of multiple dimensions related to the completeness of a particular product backlog item, which is getting inside the iteration, it should be developed collaboratively. And project manager can facilitate that collaboration in order to develop a definition of done. So for me, this is the option which I go with. In consultation with stakeholder, that project team develops it. And project teams include the product owner and whoever is working in this particular project.